Do you struggle with studying for exams? We've all been there, pacing the room at midnight, textbooks piled high, and a sense of dread sinking in. It's a common scene, isn't it? The panic, the cramming, the sleepless nights, they're all part of the struggle that comes with exam preparation. We often overlook the importance of effective study techniques, focusing instead on the sheer volume of material. It's a tough road, no doubt. But what if there was a smarter way to study? First, you need to understand your own learning style. Now you might wonder, what's a learning style? Well, it's essentially the way you process and understand information. There are 4 main types: visual, auditory, reading, writing, and kinesthetic. Let's start with visual learners. If you're a visual learner, you understand information best when you see it. Diagrams, charts, and infographics are your best friends. Color-coding your notes can be an effective strategy for you. Next, we have auditory learners. If you're an auditory learner, you learn best by hearing information. You might find it helpful to record your lectures or to discuss the material with a study group. Then, there's the reading, writing, learning style. If this is your style, you absorb information best by reading it or writing it down. You might find it beneficial to rewrite your notes or to summarize information in your own words. Finally, kinesthetic learners learn best by doing. If you're a kinesthetic learner, you might find it helpful to use physical activities, such as role-playing or building models, to understand complex concepts. Understanding your learning style is like having a compass in the world of information. It can guide you towards the methods that work best for you, and away from those that don't. It can make your study sessions more productive and less stressful. Once you know your learning style, you can tailor your study techniques to suit it. So, let's continue our journey and learn how to organize your study time effectively. Now, organize your study time. Time is a student's most valuable resource, so let's talk about organizing it effectively for study. Think of this as creating a roadmap to your success. When you have a clear path laid out, it's much easier to stay focused and reach your destination. Creating a study schedule is a powerful tool. It's not just about blocking out 2 hours on a Sunday afternoon. It's about looking at your week, identifying your most productive times, and then dedicating those periods to your studies. Morning person, set aside time after breakfast. Night owl, make the most of the quiet hours after everyone else has gone to bed. But here's the key. Don't just plan to study. Plan what to study. Break your subjects down into manageable sections. Instead of saying, "I'll study biology," say, "I'll study the cell structure chapter in biology." This way, you can make tangible progress and avoid feeling overwhelmed. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Marathon study sessions. We've all been there, right? The truth is, they're not as effective as we'd like to think. Research shows that our brains are better at absorbing information in short, focused bursts. So consider breaking down your study time into smaller chunks. A popular method is the Pomodoro technique, where you study for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. Repeat this cycle 4 times and then take a longer break. And speaking of breaks, they're not just for relaxation, they're a crucial part of the learning process. They give your mind a chance to process and consolidate what you've learned. So, go ahead and take that 5-minute walk or make a cup of tea. Your brain will thank you for it. Remember, the goal here is not to study harder, but to study smarter. And a big part of studying smarter is organizing your time effectively. A well-organized study schedule can make a world of difference. Active learning techniques can transform your study sessions. Let's dive into this. Active learning techniques are methods that engage you in the learning process more directly than just passively reading or listening. One popular active learning technique is using flashcards, but we're not talking about those old-school paper flashcards your parents might have used. Nowadays, digital flashcards have taken over, with apps that use algorithms to determine which cards you need to study more often. When you use flashcards, you're not just reading information, you're actively recalling it, which strengthens your memory. Plus, flashcards are portable and quick to review. You can whip them out during a commercial break or while waiting for your coffee to brew. Another effective technique is teaching others. You might be wondering, but I'm the one who needs to learn. Here's the thing. When you teach a concept to someone else, you're forced to understand it well enough to explain it in your own words. This deepens your understanding and helps you retain information better. Plus, you get to help someone else learn too. It's a win-win. Self-quizzing is yet another active learning technique. Like flashcards, self-quizzing involves active recall, but instead of focusing on bite-sized pieces of information, you're testing your understanding of broader concepts. You can create your own quizzes or find them online. The key here is not to despair if you get a question wrong. Instead, use it as an opportunity to identify gaps in your knowledge and focus your subsequent study sessions. These are just a few examples of active learning techniques. There are many more out there, and different techniques work better for different people. The goal is to find what works best for you. When you engage with the material, you're not just memorizing it, you're understanding it, connecting it to what you already know, and making it a part of your knowledge. Active learning techniques can make studying more engaging and effective. So why not give them a try? You might find that studying becomes less of a chore and more of an adventure. Taking care of your well-being is a crucial part of studying. You might be surprised to learn that the health of your body can significantly impact the health of your mind, and this has a direct effect on your ability to study effectively. Let's start with physical activity. Regular exercise is not just about keeping your body in shape, it's also about boosting your brain power. When you exercise, your body releases chemicals called endorphins. These endorphins interact with receptors in your brain to reduce your perception of pain and also trigger a positive feeling in the body. They help to relieve stress, improve your mood, and increase your energy levels. All these factors can greatly enhance your focus and concentration when you sit down to study. Next, let's talk about diet. You've probably heard the saying, "You are what you eat." Well, it's true. The food you consume can either fuel your brain or fog it. A balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains provides the nutrients your brain needs to function at its best. Avoiding high-sugar foods and drinks can prevent energy crashes that leave you feeling drained and unable to concentrate. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, is sleep. Your brain needs rest to process and retain the information you've learned throughout the day. A lack of sleep can impair your memory, reduce your cognitive abilities, and make it harder to focus. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night to give your brain the rest it needs to perform at its best. So there you have it. Regular physical activity, a balanced diet, and enough sleep are 3 key elements of maintaining your well-being while studying. They're not just good for your physical health, they're also essential for your mental health and your ability to study effectively. Remember, your well-being is just as important as your study sessions. To recap, studying for exams doesn't have to be a struggle. It's all about finding what works best for you and making that work to your advantage. Let's jog your memory a bit. We started off by unraveling the mystery behind understanding your own learning style. Remember, we're all different, and that's what makes us unique. Whether you're an auditory, visual, or kinesthetic learner, it's pivotal to recognize your learning style and tailor your study methods accordingly. By doing so, you not only make studying more enjoyable but also more effective. Next, we dove deep into the art of organizing your study time. It's not just about hitting the books for hours on end, it's about making each minute count. We learned how to break our study sessions into manageable chunks, interspersed with restful breaks. We talked about the Pomodoro technique, time blocking, and other methods of time management that can help you study smarter, not harder. Then we moved on to active learning techniques. Passive reading and rote memorization aren't the most efficient ways to retain information. Instead, we discussed the benefits of techniques like self-quizzing, teaching others, and using flashcards. These methods engage your brain actively, helping you to forge strong connections with the material and recall it more easily. Lastly, we didn't forget about the importance of maintaining your well-being. Studying is a marathon, not a sprint. We stressed the need for regular exercise, a balanced diet, and ample sleep. Remember, your mind performs best when your body is in its prime condition. In conclusion, The path to acing your exams isn't as daunting as it seems. It's a journey that requires understanding, planning, active engagement, and self-care. It's not about cramming all night or draining yourself. It's about studying effectively and efficiently, and taking care of yourself along the way. With these techniques, you can transform your study sessions and ace your exams. Good luck!